Apparently him and Kylie left for an hour because he couldn't take the slagging he was getting.
Did you see what Doja Cat did with that? She was giving out about like what he said about the opera and all this kind of stuff, and then she came out and then said, "Oh, I was only doing that as rage bait." So be careful. I've heard
I've heard a couple of things about her before.
Hello and welcome to Vogue and Amber, the podcast.
Hello, how is everyone? How are we?
Why
What a great
your
day.
eyes are always darting all over your computer? What's happening down there?
I'm trying to read things. Tell you what, it's definitely summer is on the horizon. Coming home from work this evening, the sun is split in the sky. It's warm.
There is do you notice there was fantastic drying out today. I went for a run walk with Ashley at like 7 this morning, and it was warm. I wasn't saying that to show off, by the way. I was actually in bed at 6 o'clock last night. So I naturally woke up at 10 to 7. But it was so lovely and warm and bright. It's so nice to just walk around. Sometimes in London when I'm walking the kids to school at like 7:30 in the morning, there's just a bang of weed everywhere. I'm like, guys, can we just not smoke weed at 7 in the morning? Please, God, I just want to enjoy my walk to the school. Getting stoned along the way.
A few people enjoying the Bob Hope on the day of St. Patrick yesterday.
Oh, Amber. So I was the Grand Marshal at the St. Patrick's Day parade, which was very good. And Amber stayed with me for the whole day, which I thought was very kind. So I appreciate that, Amber.
Well, that's because Mom and Naomi and Neil all dumped.
No, Neil was never invited. He said he didn't want to go from the start. My mom and Naomi just were like, oh yeah, it didn't tell me. My brother told me that they weren't coming. And I had organised tickets not only to the parade beside the President of Ireland, but also to a breakfast. So they're on a ban. I'm going to put them on a three event ban. So listeners, I might take one of you to a fun event and screw my mother and screw Naomi too and the horse that they rode in on. Okay?
Well, you got an apology from Naomi. I don't think you got one from Mom.
Mom does kind of a half apology where she tells me she was feeling really guilty all day yesterday. She feels so bad about it and she was wishing that she'd gone in and all this stuff. So that's her way of apologizing. But to say the word sorry, it's about as hard for me to do it as well. So I understand.
You are your mother's daughter, that is for sure.
But Amber, tell us about the people you saw this morning, the morning after, the night before.
Oh my God. So I was driving into work. I like to get into work for 7:30, at my desk at 7:30, kick off the day so then I can leave at 4. But
she is showing off.
As I took a little shortcut this morning and it was like, I thought it was like a print factory. But anyway, there's loads of people on the road. I was like, what's going on? It's so early. Sure, they're all leaving a warehouse party by the looks of things.
I can't listen. If there was a car left here, if you hadn't had my car, I would have flown down myself to have a look. I can't get enough of people being up. And listen, that's no shade. I just adore it. I love people. I love seeing, and I do love that I haven't done it. When I have done it, I don't like it as much as when I haven't done it. And seeing people being like still up from the night before at 7:30 in the morning, it's just like,
look to be worse for wear, I'll be honest with you. Not one of them had a drink in their hand, which I was surprised about.
yeah, but they probably thought, you know what, the sun's up. It's time now. It's time to stop.
10:07 on a Wednesday morning, no less.
Do you remember like back in the day, the same thing would happen to me and I'd be like, ah! You'd open the curtain, you'd be like, oh, Jesus.
The only thing I was thinking on my way home is like they've woken up. If they've gone for a snooze, they've woken up to a pretty goddamn nice day.
Yeah, but the problem is now I felt sorry for everyone that it was such a nice day today because when you're hungover, a nice day is not what you're looking for. You're looking for torrential rain. You're looking for airports to be closed. You're looking to be snowed in. You're not looking for good weather because then you're like, great, now I feel even more guilty.
Oh, I don't know. I think I prefer if it was a nice day because they could get out and actually do something with themselves.
Did you like the parade?
I thought the parade was great. They had, I posted a picture of one of the ones, I don't know what you'd call it.
It was terrifying, that one. It was brilliant.
The one from Loch Ness, which is part of the Halloween festival. It was unbelievable. And that would have been the image of me had I drank yesterday. So I was delighted I didn't drink. And I thought it was really, really good. A lot of marching bands. Don't know how many whoop whoops the old Revenue parade, the marching band from the Revenue got when they came by, but it was lovely.
Was there
Jeannie,
a marching band from the Revenue? There was some from the fire brigade.
Yeah.
And the army were there.
Loads came over from the States, and it was nice to see because they give you a little bit of context and background, and they all have to do fundraising to try and like obviously get their flights paid for to come over here. And I was thinking to myself, what a great thing to do at that age, be able to come over and be part of such a huge parade for another nation.
Yeah, well, I just thought it was great because I was going around in the car and I would say, honestly, I'd say it was 90% tourists, and I just thought, you go spend your money in our country, please. That is fantastic for the economy.
Did you stay standing up the whole time, or did you sit down for some bits?
No, I was really shy. I didn't want to stand up, and they kept saying, "Oh, Victoria Smurfit was standing," and I was like, "God, I can't." And they're like, "Victoria got out of the car," and I got out of the car a couple of times. But I just like, I think it's because I knew my friends were at home laughing at me, so I honestly was just like, it was. I will be honest with you. It was a very long day. It was like, it wasn't just relaxing and like we got up, did hair and makeup, then I went straight into interviews, and there was sorry, I'm just lighting a match. It smells lovely.
After a terrible night's sleep, might I add.
I didn't sleep well, and I was nervous, Amber. And Amber was obviously in the bed beside me, and I wasn't throwing the leg over you all the time. I don't care.
The leg protruded into my space.
No, your leg was in the middle part of the bed. So
I don't
actually,
think so.
You don't just own the whole space there. That is like free space. And whoever, it's like the armrest on an airplane. Okay? So
the middle person should get both armrests.
There wasn't a middle person because you were on the right hand side.
I'm just saying, you weren't even just taking the middle space. Your knee was like bent like this, and part of your leg was coming onto my bed. It just made me uncomfortable. So Vogue got up early, was trying not to be loud. And sure, I was up at 6 then if she was up at 6.
Listen, I didn't have a good night's sleep. I actually woke up and I was really surprised to see that it said I got 6 hours sleep, because during the night I'd kind of come to terms with it. I was like, you know what? You're only going to get 3 hours sleep and it's fine. I just couldn't fall to sleep. It must have been like Amber was hungover. So I was like, oh, do you know what? In solidarity, I will have a hangover day with you. So I went around eating what Amber was eating, and I think I just felt so ill after it all. I just
we had lovely sushi,
delicious sushi,
and then we had bambino pizza. The Zakura sushi was unbelievable, and then we had a few treats, but then we were in bed by 7:30.
Flumps. We were in bed by 7:30, but yeah, anyway, it was one of those nights. Parade was amazing. I think we got the really good weather. It was good
Marion
stuff.
was amazing.
Yeah, do you know, it is nice to stay in a hotel, but like, I wouldn't like to know what they all cost.
The food was delish.
The breakfast?
I nailed the breakfast.
Amber did a really good job. I was trying to be healthy and I said avocado smash and poached eggs, and then Amber's turned up. It was 2 sausages, 2 hash browns, 2 eggs and beans. I was like, oh my God.
Scrambled
that's
eggs,
a good option.
No toast. You were shaming. We were going for breakfast somewhere else, so I didn't get toast, but it was perfect. And then jus de l'orange.
And then, oh my God, we did go for breakfast somewhere else. And she put beans and sausages in a bowl together and chopped them all up. You're sick.
With the fried egg.
Gosh. Another egg.
I know. I don't usually eat eggs. I was like, fuck it, that looks all right.
Okay, let's do a game. Listeners, if you have an amazing breakfast, email us in what your amazing breakfast is. If you're out ordering and there's no, like, you can have whatever you want for breakfast. My favorite, I'd always get like the sweet corn fritters, and then you can get pancakes on the side, like in that place. What's it called? Granger and Co.
Oh, those pancakes are unbelievable, yeah.
Jesus Christ. I don't know how they make them. That would be like, and I like sharing for breakfast. I like sharing at all meals.
I think when it comes to bacon, I think streaky bacon is nicer for a breakfast. Unless, like, I'll have bacon if I'm having a bacon sandwich with toast.
Streaky bacon just feels like, yeah, but streaky bacon.
Streaky
really
bacon
unhealthy,
with what are those things called? With pancakes, it's delicious. Yeah, and is watering. We got to move on.
Me too.
So I'm trying to think what else we did now. So
Mother's Day was at the weekend. We had a nice time at Mother's Day.
Mom didn't get the €1,000 sent to her Revolut. And then we obviously had St. Patrick's Day. Lovely, lovely weather for St. Patrick's Day. And you did a great job, folks. So be proud of yourself. And then it was perfect to come home and be in bed by like 6:30 and just relax. And then
stunning.
going to try and chill this weekend and be the best behaved. But another thing that happened during the week, I know we already kind of touched on it, but I love a bit more Oscars stuff. Don't know if we gave enough of a shout out to but Jessie Buckley.
Oh, Jessie Buckley she's just really cool and she's humble. And like, that's why I think your man, Timothy Chalamet.
Apparently him and Kylie left for an hour because he couldn't take the slagging he was getting. But Jessie Buckley
I don't think it's necessarily fair to slag someone the whole time. I mean, like, I don't even think it was his opera and ballet comments. By the way, did you see what Doja Cat did with that? So Doja Cat came out and was like, giving out about Timothy Chalamet. And she was giving out about like what he said about the opera and all this kind of stuff. And then she came out and then said, I was only doing that as rage bait. So be careful for rage bait. I fell for that one as well, like the bloody AI leg. But it's so
Why
annoying
would she
when people do that.
that?
That's weird. I find her. Yeah, I know she's a good artist, but like there's been a few things I've heard a
couple of things
about
her before. But the thing about Jessie Buckley is that she basically she's joined an exclusive clean sweep club. So she's only one of 10 stars to have scooped not only the best actress, but best actress at all 5 of the major acting awards, so the Critics' Choice, the Golden Globes, the BAFTAs, the Oscars, and the Actors Awards, formerly known as the Screen Actors Guild Awards. So
I have a shameful thing to admit. I haven't seen it.
Hamnet? No, I haven't either.
Yeah, I need to get our Sky isn't working in London, so we're not able to buy it. I have bought the book and I started reading the book, but I can read both simultaneously. I think I'm not just gonna wait.
Speaking of amazing women, right? I came across this thing about Natalie Portman, and I didn't
deep
know.
dived Natalie Portman.
Well, basically, when she was filming Star Wars, she was completing her Harvard education in neuroscience, dealing with a full filming schedule and college workload. She also won a Wiggling Your Ears voluntarily Oscar. What does that mean? Best actress for Black Swan. So basically, she won Best Actress for Black Swan as well.
Oh my gosh, for that role, she had Black Swan is such a good movie.
Oh, I don't like some of the bits and it makes me ugh. She also had to do 18 months of ballet training, some of which she was pregnant for. On top of this, she also speaks 6 languages: English, Hebrew, French, Japanese, German, and Arabic. And she's been a vegan since her teens. But this is the clincher. She invested in this vegan food company, Impossible. And I think did she invest like 2 million or something? And it's now returned 7 billion in sales.
Oh my God. Well, and also she had a very classy breakup where she was like just really, remember her husband? Oh, let me just Google that.
There was another thing I want to talk about with women, though. I don't think you've seen this, and I need to look at it a bit more. I did ask Pete to look at this. But basically, it's about that woman who was implicated in that whole cheating scandal at Coldplay. She did an interview with Oprah Winfrey and basically said that both her and the fella that she was accused with, both of them were estranged from their partners. And she said when she arrived at the gig, her daughter texted her to basically say, Dad's there, just so you know, so a heads up.
No, but she knew. So the dad already knew that she was going out with this fella that she was working with, but the work didn't know, I think. So that's why she was like, oh, and then everyone just vilified her on the internet and like nothing was said. But I heard she lost her job and everything. So does it all add up?
But that happens to women all the time in those types of scandals. It's always the woman that's seen as the problem. But there's
I think he lost his job as well.
Both of them are gone, yeah. So but in more cases than one, it's more cases than often it's the woman who gets so much shit in comparison to the man. Don't underestimate that. But there are other women that want to go in a bit of a deeper dive. Just women who have accomplished things that you wouldn't actually know. Dolly Parton was an uncredited executive producer on Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Here, let me tell you one thing first about Natalie Portman. What I was trying to say to you. So Natalie Portman, her fella cheated on her supposedly, and that's why they broke up. They did try to work through it privately, but that's actually why they ended up breaking up, and they co-parent 2 kids. But she was really just like chill, and like she didn't give like a public announcement or anything about it. She just was very demure. Yeah, she is a demure lady. So go on, tell us a bit more interesting people.
So Dolly Parton was an uncredited, this obviously, one of my fellow lesos posted this because obviously the lesos are obsessed with Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Sarah Jessica.
Why are the lesbians obsessed with Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
Probably because we all fancied her. Sarah Michelle Gellar. Basically, Dolly Parton was an uncredited executive producer on the show for 6 years. And then she also helped to fund vaccines during COVID by putting up millions of her own money. And word in the street is that she is a secret gay.
She is not. Is she not married to Freddie Prinze Jr.?
No, not Sarah Michelle Gellar, Dolly Parton.
Oh, Dolly Parton.
I've heard that conspiracy theory a few times. Then
her husband just died. That's the gays are always just trying to nick people all the time, right?
But there's more women, right, to the groundbreaking things. So a lady called Hedy Lamar invented Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and GPS.
Is this coming off the back of that guy in the Manosphere doc who said that women never invented anything, and then there's this whole thing about women inventing all these amazing things?
No, I just thought it when I read that thing about Natalie Portman. I was like, there's other things, and I mentioned about how I'd seen about Dolly Parton was an executive producer on that show, and then she's obviously a big advocate of the gay community, the LGBTQ.
The gays.
So, before she got famous, Tina Turner, what's love got to do with it? Worked assisting nurses before fame.
God, her ex-husband, is he still alive? He was just desperate.
Well, Ike.
Yeah, he was awful.
Melinda Gates. Her husband's caught up in a bit of controversy now at the moment. She's donated $12.5 billion to charity.
I actually, do you know what? And I know that you should never be surprised, but I wasn't expecting all that to come out about Bill Gates. Like, of everyone, do you know what I mean? I think it's because him and his wife were always so philanthropic, where they were like trying to eradicate polio and all those things. And I just thought he was one of the nice guys.
Smokescreen. Smokescreen.
It's so disappointing, isn't it?
Yeah, but you don't know half the names that are on that list.
Could be
Neither do I.
Go on, Amber. Tell us who's on the list. That's interesting. Now, can we do sisters cards? Sisters cards.
Jesus, already going into sisters cards. Okay. I also have, because you know I love a life hack, and we couldn't really think of any last week. I saw something last night about life hacks.
I don't think that's true. Go on, tell the listeners.
About the AirPods and wearing them the wrong way around.
So they're saying that you have to tuck your AirPods basically into your ear, right? But
I thought that these are... So the long bit, the long bit that sticks out is really freaking long, Vogue. It looks
stupid. But it's the long bit, not the microphone. So hang on a second. I'm going to turn my AirPods around.
Is the black thing not the microphone?
Amber, you know that I don't know anything about tech.
I don't have them. Look, you slagged me about my wires.
I know. So tell me, right, here's my headphones on the normal way. So let's see if this is actually a hack, because I did this in the gym in the Marriott. You must be on the same algorithm as me. Let me see. Okay.
But we're not going to know because you're using a microphone. You fucking silly bitch.
Yeah, but... Oh, yeah. God damn it. You go talk to me. I know I can't hear you. I can hear you perfectly.
And is it more comfortable?
No, not really. I have big ear holes though, so like they fit in there.
Show us what the side profile looks like.
I have
they kind of do look a bit more sense.
I have an earring there that holds everything in. What's that thing called? Where you get pierced? I'm gonna get 3 more piercings, I've decided.
Where? Like you have no
on my
room
ears.
left.
On my ears.
Yeah, but I don't think you have any more space on your ears left. It's just another thing to have to put a hole into.
You have a very no attitude. I can do
Okay, well, let's see. I'd like more kind of like, I don't know, support for the AirPod sticks that should be going into the top bit of your ear, because...
I know, but I'll ring you after, because now we don't know if they actually work.
Here's some other mental life hacks that you never knew.
Okay.
Freeze grapes to chill wine without watering it down. I'd like to try frozen grapes.
Supposedly frozen grapes are delicious. They're like sweets.
Well, you can do the same thing if you do that with coffee. Freeze coffee into ice cubes and then you throw that into your coffee to cool it down. It won't dilute it. We know about wrapping the paper towel around a bottle. Rubbing a walnut, I never tried this, on scratched wood furniture to get rid of scratches. And then
did you see the baking paper one?
Is that for getting grease out of clothes?
No, I saw people using baking powder. And this person was like, I'm going to do it like an actual person and not an influencer and see if it actually works. And they were using baking paper to like clean off their taps and their faucets. And
baking, you mean bicarbonate soda or something?
No, literally baking paper that you cook your food on. And they were rubbing it and the whole thing came off.
Are you sure it's that? Really?
Yes, I was watching it.
And then, but you don't
Yes.
microwave pizza. So if you microwave pizza, you put a glass of water in next to it so it stops it going floppy or soggy,
Well,
should I say? You
I'll
use
tell you what.
dental floss to cut cheeses or cakes evenly.
I'll tell you.
I should have used dental floss for the bloody brown bread.
The brown bread was shocking. I'll tell you about a good pizza hack. You heat up a pan. Sometimes Spenny and I do this. I think I've said it on the pod before. Spenny and I do it. When we get pizza, even if it's just been delivered, we'll put it in a pan, and then it makes the whole pizza really crispy. But if you have the pizza the next day, it's literally like a brand new pizza. Oh,
Yeah, it is pretty delicious. It makes it, there's nothing worse than a soggy pizza. Soggy food in general.
I don't mind soggy cereal. I like soggy cereal.
Oh no, I don't like soggy cereal. So if I bring it upstairs and I need to get in the shower, it's just, it's tough times.
Oh my God, I literally wait for my cereal to go soggy.
Oh, you're sick. Sick individual. You want to do sister cards?
Of course I want to do sister cards.
Kick it off.
Okay, what would be the worst thing you could hear on a first date?
I'm best mates with my ex. Or I live with my ex.
Mine, I don't know. Mine would be, I've got 4 kids, because then imagine my 3 kids and another 4. No.
You'd
There'd be
know
no
that
room.
before you went on a date with them.
Not necessarily. Some people hide that. I saw a girl on Love Island, and she was telling them like individually that she had a baby, and they were like, "What do you mean?"
I'm a mommy.
Mommy?
I'm a mom.
Mamacita.
And like a dog, and she was like, "No, like a human child."
Oh.
I know.
If you were a flavour, what flavour would you be? For me, it depends on the time of day and the day of the week. Sometimes I might be like caramel. Other times,
yeah,
I might be like Tabasco.
Vanilla. There is a bit of Tabasco thrown in there. There's a hint of Tabasco shining through today, Amber.
So I was talking with Pete about this. He's like, "I'd be coffee." I was like, "You bitter fuck." Okay.
Coffee. Okay. Favorite ice cream flavor. I just
Chocolate.
Mine's vanilla. Chocolate is the ice cream you choose.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
I thought yours was strawberry. You used to always get strawberry when we were growing up. And then I love now the Ferrero Rocher one, or I love the Kinder Bueno one. Oh, and also Biscoff.
Oh no! I literally. Oh my God! I remember Spenny and I, when we were in Italy, we went to this ice cream shop, and it literally had all the biscuits and everything in the ice cream. We got 3 balls of it. I've never been so ill in my life. I was so just like we were like, let's just go wild. And we got all those ones, with the lump of Kinder Bueno and everything in it. But like, Jesus, no, vanilla is my favorite.
But I love it. I love it. What's the most fucked up dream you've ever had?
Do you ever wake up and you're fucking raging because you were in a really good dream and it's literally coming to the conclusion, and then you wake up and you're like,
it. And you can't. I don't know if I've had fucked up dreams. I mean, having sex with a man.
Was that a dream or reality?
Oh, fuck off.
Must have much imagination gone into that. I don't know. I hate those dreams. I used to have the dreams where your teeth would be falling out, but that means that you're
That means
insecure
you're coming into
about
money.
something. Doesn't it? I thought it meant you're
It's
insecure.
like the whole thing. If your nose is itchy, you're gonna have a fight with someone. If your ears are hot, someone's talking about you. You know, all those little kind of
If
like
your ears
old
are
wives' tales.
burning. Yeah.
Okay. So, who does the best impression of your mum, Vogue or Amber? I'd say it's maybe split.
Yeah, I think with her it's quite split, because my mom is quite easy to do.
With a
Her
little
and
fake
Neil, though,
culty
they're
accent.
like, I know. We don't know
I
where
do
she got
Neil
her
better.
accent. Yeah, you do Neil better for sure. But the two of them just like, I just went out for food with them there, and they should be coming up here any minute now. They love it. Like, I think they'd be happy if no one else existed.
Was that not one of Neil's quotes? The terrible thing about flying these days, there's so many people.
Oh my God, I know.
Okay, what's something you would add and something you would get rid of from your current home?
I really want the glass doors for downstairs. I really want the glass. I'm looking up, and I have these I have 2 open spaces from the kitchen into the hall, and from the sitting room into the hall, and I want to put those like crystal glass there, but I don't want to put black ones. I want them to be like a pastel-y color, because I'll never have, like, the house will never be a dark kind of house. It will always be quite bright. And I had the man up today, like, measuring it and everything like that, and they're going to send me a quote, and I was like, I kind of really do want them.
What do you mean? So what would you get rid of?
Those pictures behind you, I've just noticed them since you were sitting there. I noticed them about 15 minutes ago. I thought they've got to go.
I was looking at the ones in yours. I would add a pool table. And
Where is that going to fit?
I don't know. That's just, listen, it didn't have to get into the details. That's not part of the question. And what I get rid of is, I don't know if I get rid of anything. Maybe those big bumps in the driveway.
Everyone's bloody complains about those bloody bumps.
They're a pain in the hoop.
Well, maybe I
Okay.
could get something cooler. Maybe like a slide that goes from the roof to the ground.
I mean, it's not that far to walk, you lazy shite.
Yeah, I mean, I just want
That's like
to
that
close
lotto
doors.
ad. Okay. What's the most scared you've ever been? And have you ever thought you might die?
God, touch wood. That's really scary. I haven't thought that I might die. The most scared I've ever been is when I used to do that haunted show. I'm not going to go into like a lifey thing because that's a bit like depresso for me to say something like that. Like when I've been scared in my personal life, but I think that at a time that I've been scared, when I used to do that haunted house show, I think it was what's it called? I have such a bad memory. Ghost Hunted Ireland or something, and they had basically done loads, and they did really well over in the States and stuff. And there was a guy, really nice guy, who was he was like the clairvoyance and stuff, and we'd arrive at places, and he'd always be like, "You don't see those guys in the white cloaks," and I'd be like, "Oh God!" And then like you'd go into like the castles and stuff with people, and like. And they'd be walking you around and be like, a little girl fell here now. She fell over the stairs when she was 7 and she died. And we hear her playing with her toys at the end of the stairs. And I'm like, oh my God. And then we have to wait until it's at night. And then another one, that was that same house. And they're like, we hear music in here all the time, but the presence doesn't want the maids or women to be in here. So the cleaners, when they come in, they sometimes get a shove on. And I'm like, oh my God. And then I'd have to go back to this like hotel that also felt like it was haunted because we were in the middle of nowhere in
They
Ireland.
probably followed you.
Fucking hell, that's all I had to sleep with the lights on. I was absolutely
You've
knackered.
interfered with the other world too much. That's why you see them.
I've only seen one, and I don't even know if I really saw one. Listen, I could be put in a home for that.
There was two times. Well, there was a time recently when I came home. Did I go out for a smoke or something? And I could hear something, and I was like, "Oh my God, there's someone around there, around the back of the house." And I went and I grabbed a weapon, and I went around to investigate. But a time that I was both terrified.
What are you gonna do with a weapon?
Fucking give them a dig. I think I shouted out, "Is anyone over there?"
Oh no, I'm cringe.
No, another
Were you not scared when there was that guy in the driveway?
No, I was quite annoyed with him. I was at one stage. I was scared. I think I was more scared afterwards because I was like, "This fucker knows where I live." But I was kind of like, and when he started getting a bit aggro, I was like, "What is going on?" But then I had the popo on the phone, so I was like, "I'm covered. If anything happens to me, the popo know where I am."
Yeah, okay.
Another time was on a
In
flight.
a suitcase at the bottom of the sea.
Jesus Christ! So basically, was on a flight. Don't know where I was coming back from. Maybe Spain actually, and I've never experienced turbulence like it, and genuinely thought that was it. My number was up.
Well, supposedly turbulence is not bad at all, and everyone just freaks out over it.
They're
when
going
we
through the
shouldn't be
clouds,
freaking out.
so it affects with
I
the.
know.
I don't know what it's called. What does it affect with?
I don't know the way that you're flying, you're jumping up and down. It's air pockets, so you're hitting air pockets and going up and down. But diverted landings. Now I had a diverted landing into Knock Airport before, and I was like, oh, this isn't good. And I've had one into Gibraltar before, and Gibraltar is like the runway. You feel like it's a lot smaller than it is because you're coming up to the end of the runway and you can start seeing the sea, and you're like, stop the plane. And also when we go to St. Bart's, that is the second most dangerous landing in the world because you kind of come in over cliffs, but then you have to drop right down. And Spenny has said that he's seen a couple of planes go off the end.
I'm annoyed with you now, Vogue. That stupid plant I've just had to haul in. I don't want it.
Amber and Naomi, my auntie, offered me a plant, and it's the most beautiful plant I've ever seen. I'm getting Amber. You know, I'm getting a watering system for the plant because Amber won't water the plant for me, even though it only
Wait,
has
can
to be
tell me
watered
this. Okay, hold on. When
once a week.
have you ever watered that plant upstairs? The one that I got replanted and brought back to life. How many
I
times?
absolutely love that plant so much.
Yeah. Well, now you've got another disgusting. I was in Naomi's apartment and she's like, "Oh, would you want this?" She had sent me a picture. I said, "Oh, no, thank you very much." Then I was down in her apartment. She said, "Amber, do you want this plant?" I said, "Naomi, that's a gorgeous plant. I couldn't take that off, you know." I said, "No, thank you very much." And she got you. And now we have a plant. It's going in your room. It can go in your room.
It's
That's where it
like,
can
you know,
live.
when one of the kids asks me for something and I'm like, no, and then I hear them walking into Sven and asking him straight after.
Who does that
Naomi-
most?
T.
He's clever. He is very clever.
Immediately. Oh, and like T won't be like Gigi where she'll ask out loud and I'll hear it. T will go in and whisper it to Svenny.
Yeah, T's a bit of
Daddy
me.
said I could. Daddy said I could. Okay. What was the most embarrassing phase of your life? I went through a phase where honestly, I used to wear skirts that barely covered my arse. Like they were literally like belts. So it was back in the days when like you'd excuse me. I tell you what.
Remember that blue
I
dress?
went-
I was like, I can kind of see her bum and that. Oh, it's fine. It's fine.
I was ashamed to buy a skirt of mine the other day. I went to put it on and then I asked Spenny, I was like, does this look okay? And I knew it felt tight. I wasn't sure how tight it felt. Anyway, I dropped the kids to school and I knew I was getting weird looks and I had to go home and change and admit defeat. The skirt has got to go into my vintage bag. It's got to go.
It'll look lovely on someone else. My most embarrassing phase of life would probably be from like 11 or 12 to like 16, 17. That was a real awkward phase for me.
Amber had real bad times. It had nothing to do with the braces or the head brace or the peroxide piss yellow hair. It was
The blue
just-
eyeshadow, the little slithery like slits for eyebrows.
People used to fancy her. I couldn't.
My personality always shone through. Always. It still does. It still does.
I think
Someone-
we all
someone
had
th-
that though.
Someone at the rap party said, if they could turn me, they'd marry me tomorrow.
Amber literally, like, she has no qualms about repeating a compliment about herself.
I don't think it was included in the bonus, hence me repeating. But that was awkward for me. But not even that. Like, do you not remember we moved from Portmarnock to Howth? And Lynn was so mean. She used to tease me about this. So I was obviously having a bit of a difficult time. I think I was like maybe 11. And I pissed the bloody bed.
Or out of a sleepover. Oh, God.
No, not at a sleepover. I was obviously just struggling to acclimatise to the new life. And Mom was out for dinner.
Fuck, I was thrilled.
Mom was out for dinner and basically said it to Lynn's mom, Joyce, that would you ask Lynn to call around to Amber? She doesn't really have any.
Mom asked for Lynn to come round and be friends with you. Oh,
And look, we're
shame.
still friends. We're still
The
friends.
shame. Oh, Amber. Amber wouldn't risk being friends with me. I was literally like one of Amber's apostles. If I was allowed to do anything with Amber, I'd be out and about. I remember I got in trouble once when we moved to that age. I'm like, we used to get grounded. And I was saying to Sven, we should do that to the kids. We can when they're naughty. Like, they're getting old enough to be grounded. And I remember Mom grounded me for something and you guys were all going off to do your day in the woods and I was raging. I remember just sitting at the window looking out, wailing for
We were
hours and Mom didn't give a shit.
We were such feral children, not even just going to the woods. So we go to the woods, build bases or what you call it, fortresses. We'd go to the old, like, remember Cork Castle before that was made into like, so Cork Castle is a place that's like, it's a little estate now with gorgeous houses and apartments, but it used to be like a ravine with loads of like, I don't know, cars that were thrown over a cliff there. And we'd go down and we were like little explorers. And then we'd go to the golf course. Remember?
washing machine?
We'd go to the golf course and see if we could do a nick and run. So we'd be halfway down the fairway and if someone hit a ball, we'd run out, grab the ball and run back into the woods. Little swim in the
Such-
swamp, quick wash.
Arseholes. We were such. And we wouldn't just swim in the swamp because we weren't that stupid. We knew we'd get in trouble. So we called down to our friend's house down the road and we'd change into their clothes to go swimming in the swamp because their parents wouldn't care. So we'd just wear all their gear, go into the swamp, come back, change again and go home like nothing had
like
happened.
total little mingers.
I remember my bandana phase where I used to wear a bandana on my head and as a top.
Yeah, that was real trailblazer stuff right there.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Okay, then when was the time you wish you shut your mouth?
Shut up your mouth.
Shut your face when you're talking to me. Let me see when I shut my mouth. Well, I kind of said something to Mom yesterday about not coming to the parade, and I wish I'd said nothing because you know the way when someone goes on the defensive and they get a little bit shrill. It's like, and it's just like, you know you're wrong if you're going to go shrill voice. But I kind of wish I just stayed in my own lane.
Yeah, I mean, there's loads of times I wish I'd kept my mouth shut, but here we are. I mean, some of the things I've said on these podcasts, I'm like, shit a dick. Like,
shit a dick.
shit a dick. I shouldn't have said that. I've read things in the paper and I'm like, oh God, that didn't sound like that. Like,
well, hopefully you're not nervous now
I
about
listened
tomorrow.
back. Why, what?
Another public speaking.
Oh no, Amber, poor little Amber is a bit nervosa. God. Poor Bambo. Amber's going to be sweating on stage. Sweating.
I'll double up on the roll on
stage.
I'll be fine. I'll do some prep. Okay, so then last question for Sister Cards. If you suddenly became immortal, how do you think your life would change?
Well, I'd be more relaxed about
what? Well, you wouldn't think about death because you're immortal.
Yeah, and I'd probably do more relaxing in general. I'd say,
I think I would do so much good. Because if you're immortal, it doesn't matter. You can go save people.
Oh yeah, Amber, like you're gonna get up off your horse and go and save people. What about your Sundays, your slobbing Sundays?
I could be like Superman, but Superwoman. I could be super.
Amber's such a kind-hearted girl. She's going to be entering the Rose of Tralee this year just to make sure that
what the fuck? I'm too old to be the Rose of Tralee.
What? Is there an age limit?
I think that ship has sailed, yeah. Hold on, let me check.
No.
Age limit for Rose of Tralee.
Oh, I have a question for people. I have a question.
They must not have reached their 30th birthday on or prior to September the 1st in the year of entering. So you're out too.
Whatever. I didn't say I wanted to do it.
Okay, just say. Same situation for you.
Okay. I want to know about the worst lies that I saw this thing about online, about the worst lies you've heard come out with a man or a woman's mouth, like in a breakup. What's the worst lies? Oh, we weren't even together. Yes, we were actually, and I
like
have
Ross
receipts.
and Friends.
Yeah, we weren't even together. No, but we were actually. I flew over to you. I know we were because I paid for the flight.
I think people can be some people can be really horrible in breakups and just completely lie through their teeth and gaslight and just not be honest and just be like, I'm not into this anymore. But it's really just not nice. It's not for me. It's just, and I do you want to hear? Obviously, it's not you. It's me. Have you ever used that? I've used that, no, but I have meant it.
It's always them.
So not you, it's me. No.
To save their feelings. No, I don't need to save anyone's feelings. I had very valid reasons for breaking up with everybody that I've broken up with, like that, to the point where like there was absolutely no guilt or no shame or no shade on my side. Jesus. Maybe when I was younger, someone in Hoth actually once told me a story that I dumped him for his friend, but like that doesn't count. That's like pre like 18 doesn't count. You're a child then.
Fair.
Okay, so this woman heard, I found a bra in his suitcase and he said it's from when he was fat years back. He said he had saggy tits and kept it to remind him how far he's come with his weight loss journey. It's not the worst lie. I mean, to be on your toes like that and come up with that.
That's worrying that he was able to come up with such a weird lie.
I know. It's like, whoa. My boyfriend ghosted me for 72 hours. It was said, and he said it was because he took Pepto-Bismol and passed out. I've heard those of like when people's boyfriends go out and they just like don't they go out on like 3-day benders and just don't contact them. Like that's a big NO for me. Get lost.
No. See you later.
I also though I'm so weird. Like I don't like if someone's had a drink and then I have to hang out with them if I haven't had a drink.
It depends. It depends. If you're going to watch a movie or something and they want to have a little drink and they're not looking for loads of like attention or to change what the plan was.
Amber, remember us when we went skiing a couple of years ago, and Amber and I, well, now I was particularly bad, but you weren't great yourself. And Killian was involved too, our cousin. And basically, it was like two different worlds had collided. So Spenny and Oz and stuff weren't drinking and they wanted to watch a movie, and we'd gone down to watch a movie, but we couldn't stop laughing, and we just gotten like, I hate that, you know. And
No,
it feels
I
like you're
ended
in
up going to
school.
bed and then you were coming down giving me shit. And I was like, no, I'm done. I'm tapping out.
Oh,
I'm out.
God, I wish I'd just tap out earlier. Here's another one. He blamed a hickey on a mosquito. Oh, God, can you remember hickeys? God. I
I'd be a
used
fan
to
of a
get
hickey.
loads.
I'd
Yeah,
be a fan of a
they're
hickey.
disgusting. I started dating a guy and I saw him texting another girl. I did a bit of questioning as to who she was. He said they used to see each other but were never serious. Turns out he was the father of her child.
My God. It's worse. I think
That
when
would be me.
people with the capacity to lie like that, nah, in the bin.
It's like, I mean, I don't even like, personally, I don't like even white lies. I think that just shows me that your capabilities of lying are strong. So I don't even allow a white lie. But I think if you're going into like in-depth lies like that, that's like mad.
No, I had someone take the complete and absolute proverbial with me with the level of lying, and I allowed it, and it was stupid. Once someone lies more than once, see you later.
They are a liar.
Well, okay,
If they
three's the limit. Three's the limit, and depending on the type of lie.
three.
And depending on how they deal with it when they've been caught out. Do you know what I mean?
I have to say, I'm a great detective when it comes to finding out about people lying. I can sniff it out like a dog. Sniff, sniff. I came home early from a work trip and walked in on my boyfriend sleeping with another girl. While they were naked in bed together, he looked at me and said, "This isn't what it looks like." I've seen videos, but now I never know, obviously.
No, I feel like they're fake and staged. I know what you're talking about because I was
I
watching one and
think-
I was like, this has to be staged. It's like turning up at the hotel room and stuff like that. It just feels like people knows.
Or that, oh, I found my partner on Tinder and now he's coming to meet me. while
There's
I'm having
loads
this-"
of them.
Yeah. I think that they are, yeah. Okay, well, fine. Now I'm sure that they are bullshit because I wasn't 100% sure, but now that you said it, fine. They must be bullshit. I nearly don't want to talk about this because I just think it's kind of getting a bit ridiculous. And I'll say the whole thing at once because I'm going to go back into the Beckham saga. When David Beckham posted like about Brooklyn Beckham after he'd said not to post about him, I thought that was a bit shitty of them because remember he went so mad and said that he didn't want them to post about them online. But Brooklyn, did you see what he did on Mother's Day?
No.
He posted a picture with his mother-in-law and was like, best mother-in-law in the world. What a stab in the boob. Honestly, imagine. I just think that's so mean.
I know, but do we really know what happened?
We don't, but we can speculate, Amber. We can speculate. It's the Beckhams. It's so interesting. Like, what has happened? How could you do that to your kid? How could you? I know that do you know what? It does happen a lot where people fall out with family. And I know I have a friend who hasn't spoken to his mother in like, God, 6 years or something. And I'm just like, I do say, like, would you not be worried like something might happen to her and you won't have like made up with her and all that kind of stuff? I just think it's a really worrying thing. I think if you're able to possibly like let bygones be bygones, but remember Anthony Hopkins, are you listening ever?
Yeah, but I hear what you're saying, but like you have to understand that it's all fine and well to say bygones be bygones, but some people are like,
I know,
no,
I'm not
my life
saying-
is
yeah, I
better without
know.
that person.
I know, I'm saying if you're able to do that, but like I do understand there are situations where you just can't actually do that, but like I just think it's always so sad. And I think that we are very lucky with our family that we all get on with each other. Now there are rifts within every family, obviously, but I just think, oh God, I would not like to fall out with mom. Well, I did. I fell out with her for a couple of hours.
So did
wasn't talking
I.
to her.
And like that's just the way that the cookie crumbles. But I think it's different for everyone, and obviously it depends what the fallout was about.
God, when you and mom fell out, that was so awkward.
Well, she can be quite mean. I'm not going to
Oh,
say the B
no.
word, but she was not kind.
Well, I think
I
she
am
would
the
say
child.
same.
I am the child.
Amber, let me do my a tip. I have a tip for people, right? I obviously didn't have a good sleep the other night, and I have changed something within my sleeping habits. I go through phases of reading all the time, and I haven't read properly in about 6 weeks. I'm going to say I don't know why. Just sometimes it just falls off a cliff. If I don't go from one book right into the next book and it doesn't grab me, then sometimes I can stop reading. I woke up at 4 a.m. this morning and I was like, no, I have to go back to sleep. And I read my book for 15 minutes and fell straight back asleep. If you read before bed and don't scroll, you will have the best night's sleep of your life. There, that's my tip. Now, what did you want to say about scrolling?
Wow. Scrolling. So I'm always fascinated by this because obviously people's attention span has dwindled so much in about 20 years from about 3 minutes to like 8 seconds. And that's how quickly we consume stuff. And obviously it's definitely influenced by TikTok. But basically, watching short form videos harms your brain 5 times worse than alcohol. Maybe you might be picking up the bottle, Vogue. So excessive viewing of short form videos like TikTok and Insta Reels has been linked to brain rot. It impacts attention span, impulse control, and anxiety levels. I'm not surprised. So the constant stream of the fast algorithm-driven content conditions the brain to crave instant gratification, causing addictive dopamine spikes and reduced focus. So you also have lower patience for tasks like reading. That's me. Fuck. And even changes in brain regions tied to reward. Brain rot is a real thing. So the average person, how long do you think they scroll a day? How many hours?
6.
2.5 to 3 hours per day scrolling content on social. Hundreds of posts or videos daily. How many times do you think someone checks their phone on a daily basis? Don't be looking at the answers.
I'm not looking at the answers. I was actually looking for something else. 63.
110 times a day. That's how many times people check their phones. That's mental.
Oh my God.
So if you're awake for 14 hours a day, I can't really do the maths. It's more than 10 times. It's like average, just less than 10 times an hour, maybe
I'm
8
not
times an
awake
hour.
for 14 hours a day. You
So-
awake for 14 hours a day? You are not.
I'm awake from 6 a.m. to like 8 p.m. That's 14 hours.
Okay.
You fucking tick.
Well, no, actually, you're awake longer.
So the average person scrolls approximately 141.9 kilometers. 140
A year?
kilometers on their phone. Oh yeah, that's every year. Sorry. Distance is like ascending Mount Everest over 16 times. So I don't understand how more people don't have RSI. So what do you think are the most popular
Well, I
platforms?
have to say, my fingers were sore when I changed my phone because I went from one of the smaller iPhones to the big one. And I was like, ow, my hands! Like I had that,
Well,
like, my
it's
wrists
a
and
heavier
everything were
phone as
sore.
well, no?
Yeah, until I got used to holding it. I know, but bad.
Okay, in terms of scrolling averages, which are the most popular platforms?
TikTok.
Yeah, 90 to 100 minutes a day. What's next?
That's why I'm not getting involved in TikTok.
That's an hour and a
I'm not getting
half.
involved. That's
An hour and a half,
crazy.
2 hours.
Well, Instagram, obviously.
No, YouTube, 40 to 50 minutes.
I like
Instagram
YouTube.
comes after that for 30 to 35 minutes. And then Snapchat's still in there, 25 to 30 minutes.
I see people using Snapchat. I cancelled mine. They kept getting weird videos off men.
Oh, yeah, they
Weird
send
videos.
yes. So sorry, my fact was 20 years ago, attention span was 2.5 minutes on average. And now it's 3 seconds. Like, we're becoming absolute gombeans. And now Netflix has changed their scripts to recap conversations more because people watch Netflix while scrolling their phones.
Oh,
That's
it's not even funny. Will we finish on a dilemma? Thank you for sending it in.
Yeah, you read it.
Okay. Don't use my real name. Let's use Circa. I went out with a much older man when I was 16 to 21. He was 11 years older than me. I know, but it was the 90s, different times. My dilemma is that I broke up with him very abruptly as I met someone else of my own age who went on to become my husband after we'd seen a bit of the world. I'd been wanting to break up for a while. He was a very kind person and I didn't have the heart to, and so the relationship lasted much longer than it should have. But I know I broke his heart and he was very much in love with me, wanting to have children, etc. But the reality was that I was way too young and needed to go and live a bit first. but I've always regretted not handling the whole thing better. We've both gone on to have very good lives. I've had updates over the years when I'm home. I'm still married to my husband and we have children, and he married to someone much younger, it's a theme, and has children too. In all these years, I've only seen him once, and that was not long after we broke up and we didn't speak. Less than a year into my new relationship with my now husband, we moved overseas for a few years and settled in England. My ex has always been in Ireland. He wrote to me when I was overseas, saying if it didn't work out, he'd have me back. That's nice, and still love me. I never responded. Oh, poor guy. I was and still am very happy with the decision I made. Just not about how I handled it. I owed him more kindness than I showed him. Every now and then, I think I should write to him to say all of this, and that I'm glad he had his own family, a successful business, etc., etc. Reply to his letter if you like. I feel this would help clear my conscience. We know a few mutual people, so I could get in touch. Is this wise? Is it better to leave well alone? My father died last summer, and I've been quite reflective about life since and cannot be objective about it. Or maybe this is the time to finally do it. Those years were very formative times, and he was a big part of my life then and the person I became. I'm aware he might show it to his wife, and I don't want to cause any friction. I don't think I'd put any contact details on it. You always seem to have a good handle on life and relationships, so happy to receive advice, whatever it is. I'm older than you, but no wiser. Give it to me straight. Love the banter, makes me feel close to home. I listen every week. I think you need to ask yourself the question, are you doing this for you or are you doing it for him? So if you're doing this for you and to clear your conscience, I don't think it's fair to interrupt his life like that.
No.
I think that if he was so mad about you, I just think it would he has a happy life with his wife. And if you bump into him randomly or something like that, then fine. But like, if it's solely for you, I don't think it's fair to do it.
I wouldn't advise doing it. I think that he obviously reached out to you, you didn't write back to him at the time. And if you respond to him now for your own kind of, I suppose, relief in some respect, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'd be like that. I'd be an overthinker. But at the same time, you don't know if you're opening a can of worms for him again, if he's moved on, and how it might impact his relationship. And then how it might impact your relationship if he does see that as a green light to kind of establish contact with you, because he's going to know who it's from. And
leave well and good alone.
I think leave well and good alone. You're happy in your relationship. You've got kids. I think leave it. I think like you were young, and the fact that you actually have a conscience about it shows the type of person that you are and that you've grown into. So you don't need to prove yourself to him. He's moved on. You've moved on, and it is what it is.
Sure, this is it. Well, thank you everyone for listening. I hope you've enjoyed the pod. Please do keep sending in your Am I the Assholes, your dilemmas, all of them. We absolutely love them. We appreciate them to vogueandamberpod at global.com. And we will see you for the bonus next week.
Thank you all. Bye.